taking a high-speed grand tour of our cosmic neighborhood. We're going to visit every single planet, from Mercury's blazing hot surface all the way out to the freezing winds of Neptune. So let's get right to it. So you ready? Because we're about to jump from sun-scorched worlds to the swirling clouds of giant planets and then into the frozen darkness of deep space. This is a journey of some serious extremes.
First up, we're going to stick close to home with the inner rocky planets. You know, the terrestrial ones. These are the four small, dense little worlds all huddled up close to the sun. Basically, our next-door neighbors.
And here we are. Our first destination is Mercury. It's the smallest planet in the whole solar system. And you know, it's this heavily cratered little world that honestly looks a lot like our own moon.
Talk about a planet of extremes. Mercury's temperature swing is just wild. Because it has almost no atmosphere to trap heat, the surface gets baked to a crisp during the day, and then it flash freezes at night. That is a drop of over 600 degrees Celsius the second the sun goes down.
All right, from Mercury's wild ride, let's hop over to Venus. Now, people often call it Earth's sister planet because it's about the same size, but trust me, it is anything but friendly. Venus is a toxic inferno, just choked by these thick clouds of sulfuric acid. It's a textbook example of a runaway greenhouse effect, where the atmosphere traps so much heat it literally boils the planet.
And get this is the crazy part. Even though Mercury is way closer to the sun, Venus is actually the hottest planet in the entire solar system. That thick carbon dioxide atmosphere acts like a planetary pressure cooker, roasting the surface to an unbelievable 465 degrees Celsius.
Oh, and you want to hear something really mind-bending? Venus spins so slowly that a single day there lasts longer than its entire year. Yeah, you heard that right. It's one of the weirdest facts about any planet out there.
And now, after that furnace of a planet, let's head home, to Earth. You know, seeing the extremes of Mercury and the toxic hellscape of Venus really makes you appreciate our own world, doesn't it? It's just in that perfect spot, with a perfect atmosphere, the exact ingredients needed for all this incredible life to exist.
And that perfect distance is everything. Earth sits right in the middle of what scientists call the habitable zone. You can think of it as the Goldilocks region around a star. It's not too hot, it's not too cold, it's just right for liquid water to exist on the surface. And as we know, where there's water, there's a chance for life.
Okay, our final stop in the inner solar system is Mars, the red planet. That famous red color? It's basically rust, iron oxide covering its cold, dusty surface. And even though it's a frigid desert today, it has a surprisingly familiar rhythm. A day on Mars is 24.6 hours. Almost exactly the same as a day here on Earth. All right, hold on, because we're crossing a huge boundary now, past the asteroid belt. We are leaving the small, cozy, rocky planets behind and venturing out into the realm of the giants. These are massive worlds made not of rock, but of gas and ice.
So you've basically got two completely different families of planets in our solar system. You've got the small, dense inner worlds with solid ground you could walk on. And then you have the outer worlds, these massive, low-density giants with no firm surface to stand on at all.
And the first giant we meet, well, it's the undisputed king of them all, Jupiter. This thing is just immense. A swirling, stormy monster so big that it's more massive than all the other planets in our solar system combined.
And if you want to get a sense of that scale, just think about its gravity. If you weigh 100 pounds here on Earth, you'd feel like you weigh a crushing 240 pounds in Jupiter's atmosphere. Its gravitational pull is just incredible.
And of course, you can't talk about Jupiter without mentioning its most famous feature, the Great Red Spot. It's this giant, hurricane-like storm that's been raging for centuries. And it is so enormous that it could swallow our entire planet 2 times over. The winds in there scream at over 400 kilometers an hour. Okay, from the king of planets, we're now gliding over to the jewel of the solar system, Saturn. It's another gas giant, mostly hydrogen and helium, but it's world famous for that absolutely breathtaking system of rings, all made of countless little bits of ice and rock.
So imagine for a second you could dive into Saturn's atmosphere. What would that be like? Well, first you'd hit a freezing cold upper layer of ammonia ice. Go deeper and you'd pass through clouds of water ice. But then, as you go even lower, it actually gets surprisingly warm, reaching a pretty comfortable 57 degrees Celsius.
All right, our tour is now reaching the deep, dark, and frigid outer edges of the solar system, where we find our last 2 planets, Uranus and Neptune. These guys are known as the ice giants, and they're a totally different class of planet. They're mostly made of this hot, dense fluid of icy stuff like water, methane, and ammonia, all squeezed under incredible pressure.
And these two are, well, they're like strange twins. They're similar in size, but they have totally different personalities. Uranus is the real oddball. It's been knocked over on its side, so it basically rolls around the sun. Then there's Neptune, even farther out and even colder. It's a world of unbelievable violence, home to the fastest winds in the entire solar system, which whip up these huge, dark storms in its deep blue atmosphere.
And just like that, our grand tour is over. I mean, in just a few minutes, we've gone from a sun-baked rock to the dark, wind-swept edge of our planetary system. A journey like this, it really, really puts our own little world into perspective.
You know, when you see the absolutely hellish, extreme conditions on every other single planet, it just gives you this deep sense of appreciation for the incredibly delicate balance here that allows life to exist at all.
I mean, think about what we just saw. Our solar system is a place of unbelievable extremes. The crushing heat of Venus, the deep freeze of Neptune, storms bigger than our whole planet, a day longer than a year. And in the middle of all that chaos, here we are, on the one planet that is, for us, just right.
So, after seeing all the crazy, diverse environments just in our own cosmic backyard, it leaves you with one big question, doesn't it? If life really is out there on other worlds, what strange, what amazing forms might it have taken to survive in conditions so totally different from our own?